On a previous video that I'd done, I'd got this particular card sat on the side, and I just mentioned if anybody wanted me to use the die to make another card, then I would do. And yes, I got several requests for that. So that's the card that was previous, and this is the card in the video for today. I'm not sure where what make or whatever the die is. I'd gone to a charity shop and just bought a bundle of dies, and this was one of them that was in there. I just think it's absolutely gorgeous. So before I get on with the editing, I'd like to say thank you everybody for subscribing. I really do appreciate it. My number's at 322, and I can't tell you how much I really do appreciate it. So if you're watching the intro and you haven't yet subscribed, please consider doing so. It doesn't cost a thing, but it really does help my channel. Before I go as well, these elements and the flowers are from Gummy Pan, and I think the clouds are as well. I'm not sure, but they weren't in my Gummy Pan box, but they were on my Gummy Pan board. So I'm going to pop over and do the editing now. Please remember to like, give us a comment and subscribe if you haven't done. I shall talk to you in a minute. Bye for now. Hello everybody, so these are all the elements that come with the die in the die set. So I'm assuming there's going to be different versions of the frog that you can make. I haven't really had a play with it, I only made the one that you've just seen. So I'm going to place them out and cut them back and then come back to you. So I've got all the parts cut out, and as you can see there is quite a few parts. So I'm going to put them together. I am using the original card as a reference because I can't work it out from this. And it took me long enough to work it out the last time, so the easiest thing is to use a reference. So you'll see me doing that now. Here it goes, just having a look at this. So I'm using greens for it, and you really can't tell what those colours are. So hopefully you can when I've put them down. And I can't see on this screen, so hopefully you'll be able to. Anyway, so I've used like blimey greens, you know, really quite bright coloured greens, to do the shading in of all of his body really. So I'm going to play you some music so you can enjoy watching this. Hope you've got your cup of coffee ready, because I've got mine as I'm sitting here editing this video. As you can see that I'm starting to put the darker areas where the natural shading would be. I mean, that is his thighs, so it's going to be under his body, as you can see there, and on his ankles as well, where I've done it darker. So I've just followed where I think the shading would be really. As you can see, I'm just doing the eyes now, but what I decided to do was layer them up by threefold, simply so that they were not bulging, but like frog's eyes are, they are quite prominent outside the head. So yeah, I just laid it up 3 times and then put the final part on them, which did make excuse me, did make a difference. And a bit later on you'll see me putting some glossy accents on as well, just to give them that shine, but you'll see me do that in a little while. It's really cute how just putting these final little bits on really make his little face come alive. So that's a very pale orange that I'm using. Although it doesn't look it, it is quite pale. Yeah, it is definitely a little cute frog. And I don't think frogs are cute at all. When years ago I had a little terraced house with one of the long gardens. I think it was about 50 metres long, and we had frogs in the garden, and always had tadpoles, and me and my son used to go and water them. But and I don't particularly like them. I used to scream when they started jumping, but now as I'm trying to put his body together, there were 3 sections: the base part, the part that I'm putting on, and then there's another part which is up at the right hand side of his head. That's how I liked it, and then I thought, oh, I should put that bit on as well. So I popped that on, and it just didn't look right, so I do end up taking that off. That's obviously for the other version of the frog, or maybe not, but I just didn't like to see it. I think it looks wrong. What do you think? Leave me a comment just to see what you do think. It looks a little bit like me, a little bit chunky. So yeah, let me know what you think in the comments. So I'm just going to put some highlighters on now, and I'm using the Ohuhu white gel pens. They are really nice. They've got a really smooth ball on them, and to be honest with you, they're not going dry whatsoever. So they are really good. I find that I've had a lot of problems with them, other ones going dry. So yeah, these are very good. I don't know where I got this stamp set from, but as you can see, it's got the like a puddle stamp on it. So what I'm going to do, I used it's the Memento Teal Zeal. I've had these for years. I bought these when I first started card making, what, 12, 13 years ago, something like that. So literally just putting on several layers in different ways, just to give it like he's sat in a pond and there's ripples around him. I think it looks quite effective. I've done some double stamping on it as well, so some of them aren't quite as prominent marks. So yeah, I think that's overall it was quite effective. So these are the gummy and pan dies that I'm going to be using. I'm sure they came out of the advent calendar from not last year, the year before, 2023. So I'm just using 3 different colours, no rhyme, no reason, what colours, just so they all go together, just to give that extra bit of variety to the shapes of the grasses. I'm sure I cut about 3 out, not 3, I'm sure I cut about 5 out, 3 of the larger and 2 of the smaller. So just looking at placement for where I'm going to put them. I do find it easier if you stick them on the back of your main piece, so that you can see you're not messing about then when you're putting everything together actually on the card. I really do prefer this way. So just little bits of glue just to tack them down, and then manoeuvre them where you want them to be. Maybe a little bit more glue than just a bit of tack down, eh? Now I have fast forwarded through this bit quite a bit, simply because I'm just sticking the bits down, but it's nothing intricate, so you can actually see what I'm doing. But I do think they do look better stuck to him rather than, you know, straight back onto the card panel. And then I'm going to colour the flowers in. I'm just using the yellow just to put the centres in, and then a variety of different colours just to give that extra little bit of colour to the card. And I'm using foam strips. These are really good, real thin, just to give some additional dimension. They aren't very thick. I think they're probably about 3 mil, no, probably 2 mil thick. So it's not standing really proud, but it is just standing a little bit. Now, once I've put the strips on, I will put a little bit of glue on the back just so it gives you that little bit more wiggle room. And just to ensure as well that it's not going to come off. And I've just used a little bit of, I think it was chipped sapphire, just to add a little bit of colour to the water. So I have sped this up because it's just sticking down. Just sticking his tongue down, his little fly on the tongue, and doing some sun, doing a little sunshine, and then working out how I'm going to put the clouds, which I've laid up. Just they are obviously the same shape, but just layering them up differently so they look different to each other. And again, putting them on foam. So I'm just putting a little bit more bit of Wink Stella on, just in the water, just to give it a little bit of shimmer. I need to get some more. It's very difficult to get hold of. What's a good alternative? I've always used Wink of Stella, so If anybody can give me a suggestion for a new alternative, I'd really appreciate that. So I'm just deciding which sentiment to put on. Obviously I don't want it to be ever big, as I'm using Hoppy Birthday. I'm looking where I'm going to position it. So you'll see me stamping that out. I think I use VersaFine Clay, but we'll see in a second. So because it's a new stamp, I'm just priming it off, getting rid of all the chemicals from the make. You just rub that with your finger. Stamps do get better the more you use them. Yep, VersaFine Clay. VersaFine Clay, you do get a really nice sharp image, which you will see. So I'm cutting this down to size, and then I changed my mind anyway. So I'm actually going to fussy cut it out. So as we're doing that, we're getting to the end of the video. So I hope you've enjoyed this one. I've loved making it. I think he's so cute. So thank you for watching. Thank you so much for subscribing. I really do appreciate it. 325 I think it was when I've just checked. Because I started this voiceover yesterday and I finished it off today. So give us a like if you've enjoyed the content. Subscribe if you haven't, please. I really do appreciate it. It is free. Give us a comment. I've already said that. Share if you like. So yeah, there is this brilliant little frog card, and I will be sticking that down. I put a little bit of dimension in the center of it because I'm going to put it in between the clouds, which that's where it'll sit. All right, bye for now, everybody. Bye.